From episode 41, Cairo writes, okay, let me set the scene for a moment. This is great. I'm listening as I'm cooking. No headphones because it's too hard to mess around in, but still quiet enough that my grandmother reading a few feet away isn't bothered. When suddenly, mad scientist, son of a bitch! And I just got the worst look from her. And I literally can't give her any context. Thanks, guys. Not mad, just funny and thought I'd share.
I don't know what you're talking about. Okabe's English is spot on.
So cool!
Generally, the kind of content we play is pretty okay to listen to out loud, but sometimes those moments just creep in.
And by the way, you son of a bitch! We're the Bittersweet Gamers!
I'm a wee squared!
そして我は、いや、我が輩は、the opinionator! Seriously, unless you're actually nobility, don't ever say wangahai. Do not refer to yourself like that. Even Okarin at his worst would never say that.
Oh, that should tell you.
Speaking of being told, we are interrogating Faris. I suppose that this chapter is going to be the Faris route with the Faris ending?
If that's how this game is parceled out, yes.
We kind of had the Suzuha ending before, right?
That's true, that's true.
So what did Faris send in that D-mail? And knowing what the consequences are, we're just gonna have to reverse it anyway.
Basically, yeah.
The original way that things began in this game, Faris' dad wasn't around.
I know, but that doesn't make the decision any easier.
It's just kind of restoring it to the way it was. And it's not like Okarin hasn't made his position clear, which is, I am going to save Mayuri and I'll do anything to do that.
And knowing that if her father lives, CERN will take over the world. I mean, it's kind of a hard thing to consider. A weird thing to consider.
Well, if you knew that you could avert a world-ending nuclear catastrophe by murdering a little girl, a specific little girl.
I don't like this scenario you're presenting, but I see your point.
It's not pleasant, but that's really kind of the situation that we're in.
Kind of, yeah.
Not as extreme, but...
フェイリスのパパさんはレトロ PC の愛好家なんだよな。
その通りにゃ。あ、そういえばまだ IBN5000
Ah,
つけ
okay.
てないにゃ。
It's good to know that she was actually looking for one. We
Right.
never knew.
Yeah.
ちなみにパパさんがレトロ PC を手放すようなことってあるのか？
Asking about the donation.
Uh-huh.
それはないにゃ。パパは自分が集めた PC はすべて愛してるにゃ。それを手放すなんてとんでもないのにゃ。
Well, I'm still not positive that that was the IBN 5100 that...
I believe that there was some time travel-y shenanigans going on there.
Then why'd he donate the IBN 5100?
Especially since the person who donated it was just like, give this to Okabe Rintarou when he comes around. Come
Well-
on.
To a young person.
Come on! He might as well have said it.
フェイリスはレトロ PC は持っていないのか？
Thinking about it now, wasn't that Suzuha?
That would make sense. Yeah. Especially if she knows that Ruka is Okarin's friend.
So, assuming that was Suzuha, which I think who donated the IBN in the first place, which I think is a safe bet, because that was 10 years ago as well.
Right.
Wasn't it? If that was Suzuha, then she succeeded.
Yes, but something else happened.
Now, here's something else that we know. After the IBN disappeared,
Uh-huh.
Moeka was stumbling around as if in a daze, saying, I have to find the IBN. As in, she didn't find the IBN 5100.
Right, that was after the Luca world line shift.
Well, one way to interpret that is that means the Rounders never got their hands on it after Suzuha donated it.
Okay, I think that's a safe bet.
So where'd it go? If it wasn't the Rounders that got it,
Then who did?
like would FB have canceled the directive to search for that particular IBN 5100 or something? Maybe so, maybe not.
Oh.
パパの趣味はさっぱりにゃ。フェイリスはコスプレとかアニメとか可愛いものが好きなのにゃ。
Well, Papa doesn't get your hobby either.
もし仮にお前が都市開発計画に子供の頃からずっと参加していたとして。
Weird hypothetical, but okay.
そうしたら秋葉の町に萌えショップをたくさん誘致しようと思ってるにゃ。コミマを見ればわかる通りオタクパワーはすごいのにゃ。
Uh-huh.
They'd build Gundam statues and everything. So, how to send a D-mail to assassinate her father?
The best way to do it would be to just send himself a D-mail saying don't let her do the D-mail. That's like the easiest way.
Yeah, I guess it really is.
Right?
It prevents Faris from playing the Rhynat that she loves and is so good at, but well, at least you know she'd be like a super champion if she played.
きっと秋葉は今以上に人がたくさん訪れるはずにゃ。
それはいいとして、都市開発計画にずっと参加していたお前がもしもう参加したくないと思ったとして。
Huh?
それを過去の自分にどうやってやめさせると思う？
What? I'm not sure I understand the question he's asking. Oh, participating in the conference meetings. Okay, okay.
I didn't even have to say anything and you figured it out.
Thanks, Billy. No problem, Billy.
それは何の心理テストにゃ？
Yes.
単なる例え話だ。
Yeah, it's just a hypothetical that I really need to ask at this particular moment.
劇的なのがいいにゃ。
Do you see the look on her face?
Well, she's always got these weird looks when she thinks.
Yeah, I know.
At this point, I don't think it's weird at all.
I don't want to accuse Faris, but her position means you can't really ignore her. Because FB has to be somebody that's already come up in the game. Furthermore, we have been told that, but seeing as we were already operating under the assumption that that was so, it was nice that it was confirmed.
Right, right.
何？
ドラマみたいな展開にゃ。フェイリスはそういうのは結構信じちゃうタイプにゃ。これはきっとパパからの遺伝だと思うにゃ。
Really?
だから例えば、フェイリスが誘拐されるとか。誘拐？
Yeah.
What?
Is there something about being a Chuni otaku that grants you these powers or something?
フェイリス？
Maybe it wasn't a simple accident? Look! You see that? Do you see that?
I do see that, yes.
You know what? It sees you.
Ah!
You just can't help but start to get suspicious and narrow your eyes.
She would say to the opposite.
You're right.
Yes?
Is that something like reading Steiner or Cheshire Break?
頭痛いにゃ。
Did she just time leap? Did somebody just time leap her?
She didn't answer her phone. You have to answer your phone for the signal to be transmitted. She might be having some sort of temporal burp.
That's probably the most likely, but, well, it works that way with the Future Gadget Lab's time leap machine, but you don't have to do it that way, right?
I think that might be jumping a little ahead, assuming that someone could do it in a different way until the game introduces the idea.
You're probably right.
Keep in mind.
ねえ、京馬。フェイリスはこの倉庫に来てから変な気分なのにゃ。小さい頃に一度来たことあるだけなのに。
Keep in mind Luca's father, who was
That's
so
true.
convinced he had a daughter, he started treating Luca like that.
It is something that can happen. Maybe it's a strong emotional connection?
Probably.
すごく見慣れてる景色に思えてくるにゃ。
I really want to know what's happening there.
ここ、いつも歩き回ってたような感覚があるにゃ。
Like deja vu.
Oh, yeah. communicating across world lines with memories. That's why I said time leap, because if deja vu is something like that...
Maybe a natural form of time leaping?
Yeah, a very minor yet natural form of it. What does this mean? Faris suddenly swoons and nearly collapses onto the floor. Why would this be triggered?
何を？
思い出したにゃ。メイクインニャンニャ。京馬もダルニャンは常連さんだったにゃ。それに、マユシーは一緒に働いてたにゃ。
This is not deja vu.
No, this isn't. There's something strange going on here.
As if she received memories.
That is what it seems like.
本当に思い出したのか？
京馬たちがお店でタイムマシンのお話ししてたことも、IBN5100 を探す交換条件としてタイムマシンを使いたいってお願いしたことも。
She is just straight up receiving memories from another world line.
That has to be what's happening.
It's not fragmented, so why?
How?
Well, let's say you didn't need to do it the same way that the Future Gadget Lab does it. Let's say this is really farther from the future. I don't know.
Wouldn't that kind of indicate that she might be FB even more?
Yeah? And if it's not any of those things, then what the heck is it?
あとは、時間を川の流れに例えるのおかしいって、京馬とダルニャンを論破したこととか。
And for that matter, if she's remembered this, how are you going to get her to go along with reversing it?
ラボメンになるために血の盟約を結んだこととか。
D メールは？ D メールの内容は思い出したのか？
Kidnapping, huh?
Maybe she was kidnapped to get at her father. Her father showed up and was killed in an accident or something like that.
Well, I wouldn't say to get at her father, but...
Well, he'd be the best person. That'd be the best way to get to him.
No. The way... For some reason, when you said that, I was thinking that you meant that she was trying to get at her father by being kidnapped. And I was like, the heck are you talking about? No, you're right.
So she could have sent herself an email to not be in a position to be kidnapped.
Don't tell me that's all she remembers. Is it? What is it? How many memories? Why?
思い出したけど。
聞いてくれ、フェイリス。
Yeah, okay, she does remember, but...
マユリの命がかかってるんだ。
So does her dad's.
マユシーの？
そうだ。フェイリスの D メールによって改変された過去を元に戻してやらないと。俺が IBN5100 を手に入れないとマユリが死ぬ。
Well, if you could get a hold of the IBN 5100 without reversing this, but I really doubt that this game is going to end with Akiba being the not right world Akiba.
Right.
バカみたいに聞こえるかもしれないけど、それが事実なんだ。
I know it sounds ridiculous, but you are right here having memories of a different world line.
And I'm talking to you about this thing, so it's not just you.
だから頼む。以前送った D メールを取り消すために、もう一度 D メールを。
ダメにゃ。元に戻すなんてできないにゃ。フェイリスが D メールで叶えた願いは、フェイリスが叶えたのは、10年前に死んだパパを生き返らせることにゃ。
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It makes sense that Okarin would want to prioritize Mayuri.
And it makes sense she'd want to prioritize her father.
Don't ask her to make that choice, or she will make it.
Yeah.
Just like you'd make it. I mean, the only real line of convincing is your father's life or the world. Your father's dying to save the world, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, he's not going to be like, CERN will take over the world, and then everyone dies, or whatever.
And that's fine. I'm not being critical of that, but what an awful choice. What? Really?
もっと簡単に言うと、 パパが死んだ過去死なないように変えたのにゃ。
You mean that kind-looking man, her father, died 10 years ago? Why is it always 10 years ago?
It's always 10 years ago.
What happened in the year 2000? Everyone dropped dead?
Every 10 years is a divergence point.
Yeah, something like
A
that.
convergence point.
That's consistent with everything now that I think about it. It's like I should have been able to notice it immediately, but was thoughtless and did not. It's not so simple. I need to cancel the D-mail that prevented her father's death 10 years ago. Isn't that the same as killing him again?
Yeah.
Just like we were saying all throughout the last episode.
本当にこんなところにフェイリスが隠れてるのか?
Now, why are we having to deal with 2-bit punks?
それらしい二人組が入ってくのが見えたんだよ。
They are very distinct looking.
Someone saw us? We need to do something.
Quick, grab a sack of flour and beat them over the head with it.
That might work once.
That's all they have to do is beat them on the head and run.
If they call their friends, we're done for.
No!
Not now! But it's too late. They already heard it.
おい見つけたぞおら
Yeah, this is not fans.
Okay.
Like I said before, you don't talk like that.
逃げせねえぞ。
Damn it. Is this the end?
シドがあそこで車にひかれてるにゃ。
What?
Rynetting at them, perhaps?
Possibly.
Faris rushes recklessly at the bewildered men, or so I thought, but she actually just slits between them.
On account of her being tiny.
ナイスペイントだフェイリス
But the viral attackers didn't let us off that easily.
I'll be damned.
One of them closes in on me and kicks me repeatedly. He lays into me, kicking me in my legs, stomach, shoulders, and head. Ouch. Why would people like this?
I have no idea. That's why I was so incredulous that they were actually a threat.
Well, that's what I thought too until I was listening to them talk.
Well, I don't have your proficiency with the Japanese language.
All I can feel is pain. Anyway, this is as far as it's gonna go, though. I can't even stand. I thought that was as far as it was gonna go.
Do they really think that doing something to her is going to change the tournament rulings or some BS?
No, they're just mad and they want to take it out on something, but
Good lord.
like after we've already had professional hitmen, isn't this kind of weird?
Yeah.
うるせえ指図するなよ俺に指図できるのはガイアのささやきだけだぜ
Okay. Well, you did mention something about evil Chunies.
What is even happening?
I have no idea, man.
But like, what are they gonna do? There's a witness. And if you're going to do some stuff with like some 2-bit thugs, don't you do that in the beginning?
Kind of? God, they effed him up pretty good.
I don't think they're gonna do anything to her, but they'd be idiots. Alternately,
Well, they seem pretty stupid.
right.
Excellent.
Now that we're on the Faris route, as it were, are we just going to have to deal with the conventions of another style of story? What's he going to do? Pull out a sword, or is it going to be wires today? I hear sounds. A Car's exhaust. The honking of a horn.
Punks getting run over.
A limousine barrels into the alleyway at terrific speed. I like his Gaia lipstick over there. There is no escape. The alley is too narrow. Prepare to die, Shimpira Domo. It screeches to a halt right in front of me. What is going on? What has been going on? I don't know.
Norinasai.
The game has been invaded by another game.
And it's actually her dad, not the butler, who
Well, the
came
butler's
to
driving,
save the day.
obviously.
Holoing Kilma, kill this man. There's a softness under my head.
Are you kidding? He's totally in with the family now.
Yeah, that's very true. And that makes it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Now he has to actually have a relationship with this guy.
And then decide.
Perhaps the end of chapter 7 is going to be the same thing.
Where we have to choose, and if we don't choose, we get the Faris end.
Yeah, send the D-mail to
That
kill
would make
him.
sense.
Or not. Every inch of my body feels like it's on fire. They really messed me up. According to Faris's dad, he was racing to UPX to congratulate Faris when he saw us.
Why didn't she have a phone?
君にはお礼を言わねばならないね、岡部君。娘を守ってくれてありがとう。
That's a good question. Maybe something to do with the costume? Yeah, I agree.
I still find it really strange that they were able to chase her out of the arena without anyone seeing or doing anything.
Or thinking it was weird.
Or thinking it was weird.
Yeah. As I said, what is even happening?
That's part of why I thought this was just like a bunch of aggressive fans or something.
Like you said, though, now he's in with the family. Because I'll tell you what, if there's one thing Papa Akiha is going to like...
It's the kid who saved his daughter.
Yeah, watching the young man get beat up to save his daughter. And he suffered this much for it. Many dad points earned. Many dad points earned.
Time to cash them in for his life.
Arg.
守るだなんてそんな
I mean,
I don't know what's going on because of the brain damage.
What a nice guy. He's like, I didn't do that. But he did actually drag her along.
He took the beating for her, if they were going to.
They went this far. They were willing to go this far. If he wouldn't have been there...
It's hard to predict what they actually would have done.
You know, it might have been a different kind of assault.
Mm-hmm.
何もできませんでしたよ俺は全く情けないです
You still get points with the girl and you get points with the dad.
You're fine.
Also, when you say this, you're getting humble points. It's fine.
とんでもない。君は娘の命の恩人だよ。
パパったら大事なお仕事があるんだから無理しなくていいって言ったのにゃ。
Assault over a card game? What is this, Yu-Gi-Oh?
That's what I'm saying. That's so
Ridiculous.
weird. These people, okay, let's say they were liars and cheaters. Okay, but they were good enough at the game and at the lying and cheating to get that far?
Right?
Nah. Well, if we're in Faris world, I guess we're just gonna have to be in Faris world.
Okay. You know, if he does time leap, he'll get a full heal.
I guess that's one way to look at it. However...
フェイリスが叶えたのは10年前に死んだパパを生き返らせることにゃ。
I'm just going to completely ignore the fact where she completely remembered everything in the other world line because I gotta be me.
If that's true, then to return to the original world line, I have to erase her father. To kill him, essentially.
私はルミホとの約束は何があっても守るよ。昔そう決めたんだからね。
パパ、ありがとにゃ。
Hooray.
ほう、IBN5100 か。
そうですあなたは熱心なレトロ PC 収集家とかねてより聞いていました 何かご存知ではありませんか?
I just gotta borrow it for like a day or two. I'll give it right back.
Oh yeah, I have no doubts that if he had one, he'd be like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, so he can't have one.
Right.
But just the more they talk, the worse this is.
Because they'll have to bear witness to that too, and keep those memories.
I don't mean to be so matter-of-fact about this or make light of it, but time shenanigans, he's going to have to make that decision.
Yeah.
Nobody should have to make that choice.
君のような若者が IBN5100 を知っているとは珍しいね。確かに私も持っていたよ。今は手放してしまったが。
手放した?
ああ、やむにやまれぬ事情でね。
i.e. the kidnapping?
Maybe?
There might be some way out of this. I mean, what would actually be his reason for giving up something so rare? Well, you would only do that...
if there's something of similar value on the line?
Yeah, something where you would obviously make that choice, which is people that, although you did not know this, are the Rounders, kidnapped his daughter, so they could... to force him to give it up.
Yeah!
Because that's what they're supposed to do, is get IBN 5100s, like, however is possible to do so. By any means necessary, that's what I was looking for.
One of those phrases.
山林神社に奉納したのですか?
No.
Now, how would you prevent that from happening, though?
奉納? いや、違うよ。
It depends on the circumstances of him giving it up. We would have to get more details to have an idea of how to stop that.
Well, even if it was just as I described, where the Rounders kidnapped his daughter and wanted the IBN as ransom, how do you control their movements? You don't. Hasn't it already been demonstrated that they can't change CERN's movements?
Well, in regards to Mayuri's death being a fixed point, no, but maybe Faris getting kidnapped isn't a fixed point.
No? Not the shrine?
私に IBN5100 を託してくれた橋田さんには申し訳ないことをしてしまったと思っている。
Oh yeah?
Right, so she gave it to him and told him to give it. Well, I'm just wondering if that's already what she had intended. If giving it to him is what she'd intended to do originally. Maybe if he's alive, then she's going to give it to him because of his position. But if he's not alive, then it's going to be donated to the shrine.
I see.
Because
she knows Faris is his friend too.
And Buka.
Oh.
But it's like if you're trying to... It would make sense to give it... For her to give the IBN to a powerful man. And so you would pick him first. Like, this guy controls Akiba.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense. Especially since he's a retro nut.
Oh yeah, that too!
橋田って、橋田鈴ですか?
Like, I hadn't even thought about it from that perspective. I mean, the guy basically owns the place, but he also is a retro PC nut. What a person to appreciate it. That would make him your first choice. So if you can't prevent the kidnapping, then you've got to kill him.
Assuming that was the circumstances, yeah.
Yeah, assuming that's the circumstances. She did it. She found an IBN 5100. She brought it to Akiba. She completed her mission.
And maybe she figured he'd be secure enough...
Yeah, that's what I meant.
...to defend himself from the... Look at that drawing!
Oh, no!
Look at that drawing! To defend himself from the Rounders is what I was gonna say. But now I'm tearing up.
This is exactly why she was always bothering him and emailing him. Because he's someone who would understand her.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily have the same... tastes, but that's not the point.
Since when is that ever?
Yeah.
Opposites attract, yo.
Tears well up in my eyes. I bite them back.
昔の話になるがね。
Okay, thank goodness. That actually makes more sense. I was like, that could be very... Okay. Obviously, we looked at that photo from a distance. And ignored the fact that Faris was like a foot tall, and was like, "Oh God, she has a drawing of Okabe because she likes him."
Yeah,
but that's Rumiho to Papa.
Oh,
that explains why Faris is a little kid.
Okay, that makes
It was
way
just
more
like-
sense. Well, she's also short compared to his monstrous 8-foot tallness.
Just what I'm saying is, tall man wearing white, and you're
I
like,
see.
oh, it's Okabe. We both thought it instantly. Okay. Whew! That's good. Less contrived.
Yeah.
ルミホが誘拐されたんだ。犯人はとんでもない額の身代金を要求してきてね。あるいは
Exactly.
会社を抵当に入れればなんとかなったかもしれない。そんな時、渡りに船とばかりに IBN5100 を高額で買い取りたいという人物が現れてね。
Ah, I see. Okay, understood. So it was less direct, though it was probably still the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just by not asking for something as ridiculous as an IBN, then it looks more normal. Less like, what's this about?
Yeah.
So the Rounders kidnap his daughter, demand a huge amount of money, and then go offer a huge amount of money to buy something that he has, and they get the money back. Although that likely
wasn't the
wasn't an
point.
issue.
Yeah.
それを売り渡すことで、ルミホを助けるための身代金を用意することができたんだよ。
パパ、その話はやめるにゃ。
So the best way to do this is to prevent her being kidnapped, like you said, in order to save him.
Huh.
その売った相手というのは
フランスの実業家だね。
Uh-huh.
今でも連絡は取れると思う。なんだったら教えようか。
Yes! Yes, we do!
FB, French businessman!
No.
Okabe, what are you doing?
I politely declined the offer, though it probably wouldn't be easy to trace the guy. Even if the guy didn't actually work for CERN or wasn't a rounder himself.
Yeah.
Like he was likely nonetheless being
Manipulated.
Yeah. If that circumstance is true, but doesn't it seem true? France, huh? Is there anything I know of in France? There's a high... Thank you so much.
The look on your face, Daymon.
There's a high possibility the buyer is related to CERN or to the Rounders. Why won't you return to me? IBN 5100!
Banana! Hey! Well, I still have a concussion.
My body hurts too much to sleep, which... Well, I had a really painful surgery one time. I mean, I'm talking like constant pain. I'd rate a 9 out of 10.
Ugh.
It was awful. Other people who have had the same surgery, say the same thing, like, oh God, this is terrible. Anyway, it's fine. But I'm going to tell you something. That was a lot of pain, and you want to know what happened when I wanted to sleep? I slept. But, whatever. Then there's the question eating at my mind. What should I do? I'm seriously considering stealing Faris's father away from her. I need to do it to save Mayuri, but...
Get more information about the kidnapping and stop it!
How?
I guess it would be really weird to walk up to her father and be like, so please give me the details about this kidnapping of your daughter.
Well, let's just assume he's able to get those details. If he actually really puts some pressure on and asks Faris to do the same, I'm sure he'd cooperate. He would just be like, this is weird though, kid. Anyway, so he has all the details. How do you stop that? How do you change the Rounders' actions?
Well, you would begin by looking at the circumstances. If it's something as simple as they nabbed her when she wasn't being protected by someone in a specific location...
Then they'll get her again. Because that's what they're after, is the IBN.
Well, I mean, just feel like you should get all the information available when you're talking about someone's life.
No, I get that. Another option that I doubt they're going to take this route, because forcing you to have to make this choice makes for, a more compelling narrative.
I know that.
But what about sending two D-mails to Suzuha before she leaves?
What would you say?
Go ahead and leave. don't give the IBN to this person.
Or maybe sending him a D-mail saying that his daughter's being targeted for kidnapping? Then he might be able to get, like, higher security or something along those lines. But I think the Suzuha one would be...
What about your daughter will be kidnapped if you don't get rid of the IBN 5100, but...
but then he wouldn't be in position to get it. Because we're tracking its
Yeah, I know. If he gets that IBN 5100, this is going to happen. I don't think there's any way to stop it.
I'm trying!
I need to do it in order to save Mayuri. But does that give me the right to play God? In another sense, I'm only going to talk about this for a second. You remember a few episodes ago, I kind of went on a tirade about all of this has already happened and you're not actually changing anything.
Uh-huh.
Well, that is still true. Doesn't that make this a bit easier to do? What I'm saying is,
yeah, if you're looking at it that way.
You're not making another world line appear. That world line is already there.
You're just moving to another world line.
And everything in the world line that you are in is still there.
Yeah.
So you're not killing anybody.
You're just moving to a world line in which he's already been killed.
Your own perception is moving to a different place, but no event has actually been altered. Because the place where you go, the world line where you go, is one where events happened differently, thus have different results.
Okay.
But you didn't make that happen because they already exist.
You're right, but
I hate that logic, by the way. I think it's terrible.
I agree with you.
Because
you should still question stuff like this,
yes,
you know?
Because, like, following that logic to its logical endpoint means that you're more like Okarin in that, like, awful Okarin in the Suzuha ending.
Yeah. Oh, ho,
そうです
ho.
か。まだ寝てなかったのか。
入っていい？
Normally, Faris would have added nya to the end of that question. Without waiting for my answer, Faris steps inside. Oddly, she's not wearing her cat ears.
Time for her to be serious.
She still called him Kyoma, but she's coming as Akiha Rumiho.
さっきはありがとう。バイラル一味に追いかけられたとき、私、すごく怖かった。
Why is she talking normally? Is this the real Akiha Rumiho? It's actually refreshing to hear Faris talk normally like this. It excites me for some reason, like she's showing me a side of herself that no one's ever seen.
初めてだったよ。大勢の人たちからあんな黒い感情をぶつけられたこと。
黒にやたらこだわる連中だったからな。
もう初めに話してるのに。
What? Even her retort is normal.
I'm freaking out!
Kind of like she's becoming me.
傷痛む？
いや、大丈夫だ。
That is a lie!
今日の、岡部さんがいなかったらどうなっていたか。想像するだけでゾッとする。
Sanzuki mo ne. She even says san.
言い直すな。いつも通りの呼び方でいい。
とにかく、京馬には感謝してもしきれない。本当にありがとう。京馬はね、私の王子様だよ。
Well, even though we saw the photo incorrectly, this does seem to be the case and always has.
We've always thought she had a thing for Kyoma.
That's how she acts.
Yeah!
I mean, I actually think that part of it was he wasn't obsessed with her. How many men did she meet that just really are, that she just wraps around her little finger? I'm not faulting anybody, but...
Right.
She acts like that because she likes it.
But that isn't the kind of person she could treat as an equal.
Or be interested in.
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry, Daru.
Yeah, sorry, Daru. She doesn't have a problem with any of those guys.
Right!
She's acting this way to wrap them around her little finger or, you know, get them to like her brand or something like that. Nothing is bad here. I'm not literally saying nothing bad about anybody involved. But the fact that he Just that doesn't work on him. But he's still someone who's like her and can understand her. Prince? What's with the fairy tale talk? Don't you know I'm dense?
As always, when a girl comes into my room in the middle of the night and starts talking to me like this, I am just going to completely miss all cues.
Completely miss Mayuri, completely miss Kurisu.
Well, she's not as obvious.
Yeah, she is.
What?
That's so textbook tsundere, I don't even know if people actually act like that. Theoretically, they could, but if so, you're like, hey.
フェイリス。
ルミホって呼んでほしいな。
Oh, no going back now, man.
いや、フェイリスはフェイリスだろ。
And you're gonna have to forget this, too.
Nah, dude, you've already raised all the flags on this route.
We just assume that the chapter is gonna end with the change her,
I feel like that makes sense.
cancel that D-mail and condemn her father or not. And in addition to that, he's going to have to worry about losing these moments.
Yeah.
Like, he'll remember it. It's yet another thing that he'll carry, but Faris. What should I do?
ねえ、もう終わりにしようと思うの。
Pulls out a knife, stabs him.
どうせ過去に戻ればまたやり直せるのに、私を命がけで助けてくれた。だから、京馬の望むことを私も叶えてあげたいって思う。
Aw, man.
だが。
What?
Granting my wish would mean erasing her father's existence. Is she really prepared to...
Does this mean that in the normal world line, that before he time leaped, this had already happened to her? She was attacked by the viral attackers while they were off having fun and doing whatever?
Oh, I suppose so. It's just that from Okabe's perspective, he wouldn't know that.
I know, that just suddenly dawned on me.
Because it's like Okabe is in a brand new world line here and wouldn't know those things, wouldn't know what it's like when Suzuha wasn't there. So, God, that's awful. If nobody does anything about it, then what's going to happen to her? She's going to get attacked and possibly, you know...
Yeah, but if he undoes the D-mail, she won't be a professional Ryonet battler and won't be in that situation.
Well, that's true, but that's not the most important thing.
Well,
Possibly one of the reasons she came in here like this is to say, it's okay, go ahead. I mean, she doesn't really know, but...
She acknowledged that he went back in time.
Billy, she had some memory of the other world lines. Does that memory include knowing that her father is gone?
I guess you're right.
What she's here to do is to tell him to go ahead and do it, isn't it? It was like this with Suzuha, too. I erased everything that Suzuha had shared with us in 2010, including her memories of meeting her father. She almost jeopardized her whole mission and what her father really wanted to go back in time just hoping she could find him. I had to take that from her. I did it for the sake of my personal goal to save Mayuri. Must I once again sacrifice someone else's dream as they root for me and tell me to go ahead?
あれは私の8歳の誕生日の時、私はパパにその日だけはお仕事をお休みして一緒に遊びに行こうってお願いしてたんだ。当時はまだパパの会社は大きくなくて、パパは毎日朝から晩までずっと働き続けてたから、私はちっともパパに会えなかったの。パパと過ごせる一日が私が一番欲しかったプレゼントだった。パパは約束してくれたよ。その日は何があってもきっと一緒に過ごそうって。でもやっぱり急な仕事の予定が入って前日になって約束は破られちゃったの。ひょっとしてパパは 私のこと愛してくれてないんじゃないかってすごく不安になっちゃって。だからね、私誕生日当日に家出したの。パパに心配してもらいたくて。その日、パパの乗った飛行機が着陸に失敗したんだ。死者は一人だけで、他の乗客はみんな無事だったんだけどね。
So it was like we had initially thought, that it was like a horrible accident that was just prevented by him not moving at a certain time.
Him not being on that plane.
Don't tell me.
その一人がパパだった。
Poor Faris. That was before the world line changed. In a world line where her father is dead in 2010. Like I was saying, she did have those memories. Now where she got them, I have no idea.
I feel like that's something important that needs to be addressed later, but...
But that means if she gives him the go-ahead, she knows what she's doing.
信じられなかった。こんなにも世界は私に冷たい運命を押し付けるのかって。パパなんかもう知らない。死んじゃえばいいんだって。それがパパにかけた最後の言葉になっちゃった。
Good Lord.
Poor thing.
そんな言葉で私とパパの関係は永遠に閉ざされちゃったんだ。
I mean, that's something that's gonna haunt you for your whole life. Like, you can get over it and move on, but blaming yourself for your parents' death, kind of legitimately, like, it's not that it was really her fault. And even if she knew that, like, even if she were to know that intellectually, there's still this. Like, how do you not blame yourself? Especially because a 3-part, 36-character message was enough to get you to do something different and save his life. Like, she kind of was responsible. I mean, not really, but...
That was a sheer accident that only one person died.
It is very easy to blame yourself, and the fact is you are not necessarily ever sure that you're wrong. Like, especially those last words.
大好きだったのに。どうして最後にあんなこと言っちゃったのかなってずっと心の中にパパへの罪悪感があってずっと思ってた。タイムマシンがあればいいのにって。
Wonder what she did to change that.
Saying some things that only she would know to herself, like however that might be. Don't let him... Don't
go on the plane.
No, don't ask him for this present on my birthday. Because then he would have already been where he needed to be. Or would have been on a different plane or something like that. Yeah. And so... Then, did fate guide us to each other?
I have a few choice words to say to fate.
El Sai Kongru?
だからね、京馬がタイムマシンの話をしているときに、これは神様か仏様か運命様が私に与えてくれたチャンスなんだって思ったの。
フェイリス、ルミホ、今日はもう話さなくていい。
最後まで言わせて。
If she doesn't finish it now, she probably won't have the strength to do it later.
Man, I feel really bad for her. Because what she's about to say, you know.
私はもう満足したから。さっきパパが助けに来てくれて、私のこととっても大切に思ってくれてるって分かったから。
It's like you can't even imagine this. For whatever reason, she received those memories, which I'm really going to be curious when we get to our next contestant, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
if that's gonna happen again, forgetting the memories for now. Could you even imagine this? What it must mean to tell someone, I'm okay. I got what I wanted with my father. It's okay. You can go ahead and kill him and take him from me. It's okay. My gosh.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
ちょっとだけのご褒美はもう十分楽しいんだから。だから変えた過去は元に戻さなきゃ。
Will she remember this?
No.
だが
Oh?
Well, maybe she will.
She remembered the other stuff. Who's to say she won't remember this too?
Well, I don't know. We don't know anything about why that happened.
今日マユシーはね、私にとっても友達なんだよ。そのマユシーに危機が迫ってるなら、私も京馬と同じようにする。ね。
I mean, this is an understatement, but like, how freaking sad
すまない。
for a child to consent to
Take
the...
your side, basically.
But it's so much more complicated than that, you know?
言ったでしょ。今のこの現実は現実じゃなくてご褒美なの。それとも夢って言うべきかな。もともとパパはこの時代にはいなかった。元に戻すだけ。夢を見させてくれてありがとう、京馬。
Hearing her try and rationalize it like this is just as bad.
Is it really rationalization, though?
I kind of feel like it is. Like, if she doesn't think of it this way, she won't be able to agree to it.
She wasn't asked. She volunteered this.
Yeah.
Like, while Ocarine is, my god, I don't have the right to do this, she shows up and says it's okay.
I suppose in that light, she's the only one who could make that choice.
That's why it's tragic.
本当にそれでいいんだな。
In exchange, you had better succeed because you are, in a sense, exchanging the death of one man and the meaning that carries to his daughter for the chance to save Mayuri and to stop CERN.
If he's going this far, he has to go all the way.
If you are going to charge such an expensive fee, then you had better deliver the goods. Otherwise, that sacrifice is meaningless. And knowing that, barring the strange shenanigans that may begin to start occurring with people retaining memories of other world lines, which we have no way of understanding right now, barring anything like that, he's going to be the one who carries all these memories. It's kind of like the price of playing God, if you will.
His price.
If he doesn't bear the memories of his own actions and the things that he has seen and that he has taken from people, however much they have offered them up, then he won't be able to forgive himself for making such awful, selfish decisions.
本当はちっとも良くないよ。私世界が変わる前のこと思い出したけど、でも世界が変わった後のことも全部覚えてるんだよ。私の記憶今すごくパニック中なの。
Yeah.
I bet.
変わる前と変わる後とがごちゃ混ぜになってどっちが本当なのかわからなくなっちゃいそうで。
I see.
でもこれ以上わがまま言ったら京馬が悲しむでしょ。京馬が悲しむ顔は見たくないから。だって私の王子様だもん。
だがもしかすればお前もパパさんを失わずマユリも死なない、そういう世界があるかもしれないんだ。 それを探す努力をもっと。
いいの。もう、いいの。私は、もう逃げたくないから。
She's really strong.
Look how she was before.
It is. There's nothing I can say to that.
ありがとう。
ねえ、ちょっとだけ泣いていいかな。過去を元に戻す前に、パパのために泣いてもいいかな。
You cry as much as you want.
Who could ever say no? She's already crying, but I don't say anything. Instead, I silently nod. Her father is sleeping in the room next door, so she probably doesn't want him to hear. She cries into my chest, muffling her sobs. It's almost noon. The pain from my wounds has subsided, thankfully, but I didn't manage to sleep a wink. How could I? I promised Faris that we'd commence the operation at noon. I've already contacted Daru and the others back at the lab.
今日な。
フェイリス。
今からパパに最後のご挨拶をしてくるにゃ。しばらくパパと二人きりにさせてもらうにゃ。
There was nothing I could say. I could only watch as Faris put on a brave face to say her last goodbyes. By the time Faris finishes her farewells with her father and comes out of the study, the phone wave, named subject to changes, settings are already complete. Now, all we have to do is send the D-mail. But I hesitate.
You know, in a way, just like he's been leaving a bunch of wrecked world lines behind, this Faris will still be here in this world line. Maybe there's some solace to be taken in that.
You know, that's true. Like, it'll all happen, and then she'll be like, oh, nothing's changed. Because for her, nothing changes. And for having to do such an awful thing, at least Okarin got her permission.
That's true.
Eternal separation from her father. I wonder what Faris is thinking now.
今日な、そんな顔しちゃダメだにゃ。今日は何にも悪いことしてないにゃ。
だが。
にゃんにゃー。もうその話はおしまいにゃ。
Okabe's great reluctance to do any of this, the fact that he cares so much and it's tortured by it, is perhaps one of the reasons that he's qualified to make the choice.
He doesn't do this lightly.
He understands exactly what he's doing. Or at least he does now and has for a while.
Yeah.
わかった。
Yesterday, just before she left the room, Faris told me the contents of the first email she sent. 100 mil for your kid. Take the train. That mail stopped her father from getting on the airplane. As a result, he didn't die.
Huh.
But that wasn't the only effect it had on the timeline. Her father needed to sell the IBN 5100 to prepare the 100 million yen ransom.
Huh!
Well, she did say that she ran away from home, so she was her own kidnapper, and is even more directly responsible.
I see.
And she is volunteering to return herself to that girl. When asked before about the 5100, the things that she said and the things that she said she would do, she did all those things knowing this. And so, by changing things back to the way they're supposed to be, in a lot of ways, Faris is...
I can see how she'd blame herself more directly now.
As a result, Faris never donated the IBN 5100 to Yanabayashi Shrine. With her father alive, Faris no longer needed to participate in Akihabara's city development conferences in his stead. In turn, Moe culture, which Faris promoted, never took root here. May Queen NyanNyan never opened. Faris wasn't as busy, which allowed her to join the Ride tournament circuit. In other words, this world line's Faris has a normal life. On the world line I came from, Faris was not only a student, but also the heir to her father's company, an influential member of the Akihabara Development Board, and, probably to keep her sane, a part-time maid waitress.
The part-time maid waitress.
Yeah. Which life is better for her? Which will give her greater happiness? It's not my decision. It's hers. And her decision is to return to the way things were. Faris already had the cancellation D-mail in mind. These are Faris's true last words to her father.
ちなみに、世界が元に戻ったら、フェイリスの今の記憶も全部なくなっちゃうのかにゃ。
I'm hoping, on all things considered.
そんなことはあるものか。きっと覚えてるさ。なぜならお前は今、過去を変える前と変えた後、両方の記憶を持っているだろ
だから、あんなに必死にフェイリスを助けてくれたのかにゃ。
Oh no.
それは、解釈は自由だ。
フェイリスは、京馬との時間を忘れたくないにゃ。
ありがとう。
Indeed. I'm sorry, Faris. I lied to you. Perhaps, when the world returns to normal, all of our memories of this world line will disappear. Perhaps another miracle will happen and you'll regain your memories of this world line too, but I can't be sure. I have no idea what the chances are. There are no guarantees. And since this is such an obviously important decision, where BSG's actions are obvious in the way they're going to go, which is say no, see the ending, and then say yes, that means this is a great place to stop.